There's something really gratifying about that, of like, yeah, I tried something. At least I risked. Like, I tried something that I wasn't sure if I could do. I thought I could. I probably could. And I didn't.
It's better to have tried it, you think?
Oh yeah. You have to try it. Because I think without failure, actually it's funny, I was reading yesterday, I'm reading this it was in this book about happiness. And the author was telling this story about Thomas Edison, and he got interviewed by this journalist, and the journalist was like, so how's it going with the whole your experiment thing, the light bulb deal? He's like, well, I've tried literally 10,000 different. He couldn't commercialize it. He couldn't figure out how to, whatever the right deal, the right mix of how to make a light bulb commercialized. And the journalist is like, so what's it like to fail 10,000 times? Like, how do you deal with that? And Thomas Edison's response was beautiful. Really hit me, actually. He said, what do you mean failure? I don't know what you're talking about. I now have knowledge. I have 10,000 more ways. I have 10,000 pieces of information of what not to do. What do you know? Like, that's that's what I know. What do you know? So I just thought that was a cool way of spinning it as like failure. I mean, I hate failing. I'm so afraid of failure. That's like my greatest fear. I hate it. And yet, after you failed and after you get up and your knee, scabs heal and your wounds heal and you get out of the hospital, or bringing it emotionally or relationally, after your heart begins to heal, or after you, after you're not just broken, or after you found hope again, after you've failed, that's when you are able, I'll personalize it, that's when I feel like I'm able to build some confidence in what I can and can't do, and what I'm good at, what I'm not so good at, what it's going to cost me to do that if I want to do that again, or what I need to build. So it's valuable. It's valuable information.
See, that doesn't make it sound like a failure.
Yeah, Thomas Edison didn't make it sound like those 10,000 tries was failure at all.
Now, what do you think about when someone asks you, like that journalist asks him in a recorded moment, because obviously it was recorded or else we wouldn't have heard about it. He wrote about that. Like, this is what the guy said, or whatever. I don't know if they had audio recorders back then, so we would have had to, like, this is what he said, wrote it down. When no one's recording you and no one's asking you questions, and it's just you and the monkey brain, and you just talking to yourself in your head and reliving failures, successes, learn moments. Mm-hmm. What about that? Because that's the tough moment.
You're totally right. That's a great question, and I think everyone has their process. And one thing I really like to not focus on but point out with my clients in a coaching session, for example, is everyone has this chatter, this talk, and we call it saboteur talk, or you can call it whatever, the gremlin or the voice on your shoulder or whatever. And everyone has that voice. And there's a voice or many voices that will say things that are so defeating. It's like the person grabbing the back of your ankles while you're trying to run, right? It's like it's there to trip you up. It's there to just bring you down. When you feel alive, and then you get this voice that says, yeah, well, why are you going to try that? You're just going to fail anyways. Or, oh, no, or you're not going to be accepted. Like, these are some of my saboteur voices that are powerful to me. Might not be might not make an impact on you. Everyone's are different. Everyone's are unique. But those would be mine is, well, why bother trying it? Because you're just going to fail anyways, or you're not going to be accepted, or you're not going to belong, or you're not going to find love again, or you're not going to, those would be mine. And I think that when people try to walk alone, well, no, let me just personalize it. When I sit with my own voices, my own saboteur talk, I have to combat that with something. And you have to combat that with the truth about who you are. Because the saboteur voices come from stories and sometimes experiences of what you've done or where you've messed up or whatever. And I think it's important. I think that's the beauty of like having friends, honestly. It's very simple. Like having friends, having a coach, having people around you, surrounding yourself with people that actually believe in you. It sounds a little cliche, and simplistic, but it's really like my best friends know who I am at the core. They know, they've seen me at my best and at my absolute worst. They know my worst failures ever, and they've seen me in my prime. And I think that's where everyone needs, I need those people sometimes to just be like, Nick, that isn't you, right? Like, that story that you're telling me right now, that isn't true. Like, that's saboteur talk. I think everyone needs to be reminded of that sometimes. They need to be reminded of what is really true. Who are you? Who are you at your best? And what are just stories that you're making up, that you're believing? And what's the new story? Like, what's the Thomas Edison? I mean, Thomas Edison must have gone to bed how many nights in a row being like, what the hell? Like, if I can just get this frickin' light bulb to just go or be commercial, like if I could just make a way, like it's so close. And 10,000 tries later, he's like, I am not a failure. Like I believe in this project. This is going to bring like literal light to the world. This is going to change. There's gotta be a way. And if he had believed that the saboteur story of how many more thousands of things are you going to try before you actually give up? Like if he had believed that voice of, dude, you're at 8,467 tries at this. Like, isn't it time to just let this go to bed? Like, maybe try, the non-electrician route. Maybe try plumbing. Maybe try engineering. Maybe try, but he didn't bow down to those saboteurs, like that saboteur talk. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. When times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled waters, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled waters. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled waters, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you need a friend, yeah, I'm trailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a bridge over troubled water.